Kia ora, Pisces. This is your reading for the new moon in Scorpio, which is happening as we speak, really. And so take what resonates, leave what doesn't. We'll get a storyline out here. We always clarify on this channel. And thanks for joining me. It's fabulous. The more likes, comments, subscribes helps to get these videos out by more people, out to be seen by more people. So I do appreciate that a lot, Pisces. So let's get into your reading. Just get that, and let's see. We've got a rock mineral crystal card for you face down that we shall pull up at the end. So if you're sun, moon, ascendant, check this video out, obviously. Look at any other titles that stand out for you as well. Yeah, so let's see. These cards are face down, so we are turning them up. All right, so, you know, and a lot of the readings for this new moon in Scorpio, and it has been a really intensified period of time since sort of going back a month to 5-6 weeks. We've had some themes running through, and we always, in every sort of cycle of readings, we always have that particular cards coming up over and over again. We start the reading here, Pisces, with one that has been coming up a lot for this new moon in Scorpio, and it is, if you are familiar with tarot, the Five of Swords, which is a difficult card. It really speaks of, on a basic level, of behaviours that let ourselves down, whether that's behaviours in others or in ourselves. We see in this card the sort of saboteur energy where we can cut ourselves down, cut ourselves out, just by, I guess, not fronting up, not really being there, here, in the now, and being honest with who we are and being balanced with who we are. So it's kind of a bit of a drag, actually, but this could be seen in your world with people around you. You might be having a difficult time in terms of just being able to deal with other people's behaviours as well. So we'll move on. As I said, we always clarify, so we'll get a little bit more out of that. We come next into the Prince of Wands, a very experimental and youthful character. Can go to extremes. I mean, fire and ice. You know, we can't necessarily tell the difference sometimes between, you know, what is hot, what is freezing. Prince of Wands, a youthful learning card. And what we are learning in that card is how we utilize our will, how we, as I said in the five, how we front up, how we activate things that we want to see happening in our life. This prince is learning this. You might feel that you're learning new things at this time. Different ways of doing things that maybe are changing for you. All of that stuff. There's certainly a decision here, a choice to be made. And this is the Two of Discs, wonderful representation by Lady Frida Harris here in the Thoth deck. We have the balanced yin-yang symbols here, and the Ouroboros, the snake with the tail and the mouth. We've got the figure 8, infinity. It's about the constant nature of change. And within this Two of Discs, we make a choice. Maybe the choice is to lie low for a while, to take time out, Pisces. It could be all and any kind of activity for you. We lastly have the Hanged Man. So we're looking at marginalizing external stimuli And this is for a period of time, doesn't matter whether it's a day, a week, a year. We go into Hanged Man mode for a purpose, and that purpose is that we know when we come back out again, there's a transformation that occurs within that Hanged Man, but we know that when we come out, we're actually seeing differently. We're shifting our perspective. So on whatever it may be. So let's get into it. Clarify this Five of Swords. We're clarifying the Five of Swords for Pisces. For Pisces, Moon, Sun, and Ascendant. Look, and this is another card that keeps coming out, Pisces. This is especially for water signs, actually, the 7. We're talking assessing something here. We see this little figure, thief in the night, goes around the back door, takes 5 swords, and leaves 2, just in case they might want to go back. So we've got 5 swords here, we've got 5 swords here. We're going back to a, you may find that you have been, or that something has kicked this off, that you're actually reviewing here. And it is in terms of your behaviour, Pisces, or other people's behaviour, or the interactive qualities between you and others, and how that's created sort of experiences for you in the past. I do get that quite strongly here. I get that quite strongly. Can we get one other card to indicate another aspect to this, Pisces? To this, another aspect. Queen of Pentacles, a benevolent queen, generous queen in its highest polarity. I guess the question here is if there is this review going on for some of you, it may well be about your own behaviours. It's not unusual at this time, and it hasn't been unusual really for a while, to be kind of going down into the darker depths of our behaviours and our responsibility, the responsibility that we have within that, how we impact others, because we do, how our words do. So it's all of this stuff. It's not heavy. It's just like, it's really healthy to do it. So anyway, let's get into the Prince of Wands here. Who is this adolescent experimental prince? Is it Pisces? It's part of the learning, part of an ongoing learning here. It's about giving and receiving. It's about relationship, Pisces, and I think you are and have been reviewing that, how you do relationships, friendships, all of that sort of thing. You know, this young prince, experimental, testing one's own will, testing the boundaries, pushing the boundaries, retreating, pushing, all that sort of stuff. It's part of that learning process. Here we see we have an offering, which is a small offering in the page, another prince really, Prince of Cups, a small offering, and it is an emotional offering. And we have the Two of Cups, one of the most harmonious and beautiful cards in the deck. It is about reciprocity and equal giving and receiving. Now, we don't get our tape measure out or have a checklist about Was that an equal exchange? Was that an equal exchange? Sometimes we feel it in our bodies if it was not an equal exchange. That's the beauty of the sensory nature of the human, isn't it? That we often feel that. So it's sort of all this stuff like, am I letting myself down? Am I justified here in doing this? What I think about myself, is that actually what I do, or is it something else? It feels like there's a lot of confusion in here. This Two of Cups is a reciprocal and very balanced giving and receiving. It is also about making choice and commitment, and your commitment to others on a sort of soul level, I guess you could say. Your contracts with others. Your contracts, Pisces. Small offerings. There's an equal offering here. There's a review of everything to do with relationship. So it's very interesting. Two of Discs for Pisces. Two of Discs. We get the Knight. We've upped our ante here. We make a choice. This is a full cup that the Knight has, and the Knights are all quite fast. The Knight of Cups often has Pisces has the issue with him is maybe there's a little bit of a tension between, the intellect overriding the emotions with the Knight. Potentially. Anyway, we've got that Knight to clarify making a decision here. Knight of Cups offering. It's a bigger offering. It's expanding your ability to receive, actually, Pisces. We then have the 6, beautiful 6, harmonious level within the Tree of Life. Here we see generosity. Here we see giving. Without agenda, the joy that it gives a child to offer something, to give, to express, the beauty of that. And we remember that. We go back in time, certainly when we're doing a review, we remember these times. And this card also can speak of people coming back from the past, which maybe in recent weeks you have had people coming back from the past into your life, and this is all based around a choice and a decision that will be made. 10 of Cups, the ultimate in emotional satisfaction, the ideal within emotional satisfaction. So there's a lot of busyness here, Pisces. Hanged Man, please, for Pisces. And how do we see all of this connecting? How do we see these cards connecting? We see a review. We see a review, a real hard look at your own behaviours and those of people around you, and this is historical. This is historical. You're looking at what exists between you and other. It's all about relationship in here. Relationships. I don't mean just a primary sort of, relationship. I mean a lot of relationships, friendships, all of that. We have a kind of what are our obligations, commitments. Our obligations and commitments are really to be true to ourselves, honestly. And in that review, this is what you're seeing. These things. We then have a choice to be made. And there are a lot of things coming in that are impacting that choice Two of Discs. It's very tangible, physical, um, dense world choice here. And then we come to the Hanged Man. Now, currently we've got, that it's a retreat. It's basically switching off all external stimuli in order to go into a zone where we come out with a different perspective, Pisces. We have the Nine of Cups. We don't take it for granted. We know they're there. And the whole thing of this card is that we do know what makes us happy, and we aren't going to take it for granted. We also have Strength with this Hanged Man mode. I do think there's a new understanding happening. In Strength, we tame our mind, our biggest adversary. It's not anyone else. It's our own mind. Psyche. What is conscious? What is not at this point? So it's ego, how does that play out also? So it's interesting. It's pretty rich. We'll just get one more card for that. Hanged Man. Layers. It's a very layered reading, and on this platform, of course, one can only go with the narrative, the immediate hit narrative, right? And of course, we come to the Hermit, which is not surprising with these three cards here. We come to the Hermit, the Hermit's journey. It's an active journey. And of course, there may well be other people that you are taking along on this journey. The Hermit can be a guide, a light for others, but primarily we go inward and we shine a light into those areas that we have avoided or try to avoid in order to understand ourselves better, because it is about that. So that's pretty interesting, Pisces. Now, let's get a Brian Froud, Pixie and Fairy, an overview of this reading for Pisces. The cards are actually being quite stubborn. Oh, thank you kindly. Right. This is so it. We've got two cards that came out, Pisces, which basically say exactly what this is about. First and foremost, Epona's Wild Daughter. This is about going back into the annals of history and doing a review, which is exactly what we are doing here in this storyline. We go into shadows of the past, and of course, our shadow is never actually integrated, is it? We just cast it. We leave it behind. You know what I'm saying? Like, some things aren't integrated. That's the way it sort of can be. And sometimes we cast it behind, but we have a really, really good look. We pick it apart, we look at it. Oh yeah, I know that. I know that shadow part. So when we do a review, we do this. At the same time, and it's very useful, don't get me wrong. I mean, it's really, really useful. And then we have this, the Singer of Connection. It's all about you investigating your shadow, the story, you looking right there, you're right in it, you're looking at it, you're feeling it, you're seeing it, it's there. A combination of that and connections with others, relationship. It's really strong here. And what have we got? We've got iolite, rock mineral crystal for you this week. Magical powers, feminine divine, work connections, and inspiration is what you get today, Pisces, for your new moon, and Scorpio, your fellow water sign. Of course, you are more mutable, whereas the Scorpio is a fixed water sign. On that note, have a wonderful week, Pisces. We'll see you next time. It's a great reading. As always, take what resonates and don't. Just leave what doesn't. And take good care out there in this world this week. We'll be coming up again with the full moon in Gemini in a couple of weeks. Ka kite, bye.